Moving on to Michigan's 12th congressional district with Rashida Tlaib. She is a force to reckon with, not only in Michigan, but also in Congress. Now, we know she was an original member of the Squad, and she has been so strong on Palestinian rights. As a Palestinian herself, she has been a strong advocate all along the way. And it's been so inspiring to see how she's been using her voice and her action to make change in her community. Now, it's no surprise that on the night of the primary, August 4th, we saw Rashida Tlaib win her 5th election for the Democratic primary in Michigan with a percentage of 73.9% of the vote. And that was in a 3-way primary. The other two contenders were Chanel Jackson, who came in with 16.8% of the vote, and Byron Nolan, who came in with 9.2% of the vote. Now, Rashida Tlaib had one of her highest vote shares of 102,510 votes. Congratulations to Rashida Tlaib. She knows her district, she knows her constituents, and she knows what to fight for because she's been doing this work for, nearly 10 years now. So on top of that, for those who may not have been familiar with this particular district, number one, Rashida Tlaib was redistricted out of her original district. When she first ran for Congress in 2018, she was running in Michigan's 13th congressional district. But now, after 2020 and the census, this was Michigan's 12th congressional district. So there was a substantial overlap between the 13th district and the 12th, but just know that she is still winning even in the new district. Fun fact about Rashida Tlaib is that she first got to Congress thanks to a double election. That sounds weird, but that actually happened back in 2018. So going back a little bit further, we had the incumbent, John Conyers. John Conyers was actually the longest serving member of the House of Representatives, who was 36 years old when he first won his election in 1965. Actually, 1964, and then served from 1965 to 2017. And unfortunately, he resigned in 2017, that December, in disgrace because there were sexual assault allegations that forced him to resign. So, bad behavior, no surprise there. However, this opened up an opportunity for Congress. Now, of course, he was a Democrat in Michigan's originally 1st Congressional District, then 14th Congressional District, and most recently the 13th, which was the seat that Rashida Tlaib would run for. However, because of the governor of Michigan at the time, who was a Republican, he set the special election to fill his seat 1 year later. And he set that primary date for the special election on August 7th, 2018. So from December 7th, when he resigned of 2017, to August 7th of 2018, there was no member of the House for Michigan's 13th Congressional District. Very interesting how Mike Johnson from Louisiana, Speaker of the House, is pulling the same tricks in Trump's second term. So back in 2018, Rashida Tlaib had to run in 2 elections. It was the special election to finish out John Conyers' term, and it was also the Democratic primary for the next upcoming term, which would have been from 2019 to 2021. So in this race, there were 2 strong contenders, Rashida Tlaib and Brenda Jones. Brenda Jones wound up winning the special election primary. She beat Rashida Tlaib by 1,648 votes. And it was about 1% vote difference. So it was very, very close election, but Brenda won that election. However, because the governor of Michigan made this special election the same day as the Democratic primary, August 7th, meaning that both elections were on the same day for all the voters in that district. However, Rashida Tlaib, she won the Democratic primary election. Same ballot, she just won the other election, and she won by a little bit of a higher margin. So the fact that Brenda Jones won the special election, she served in Congress for 8 weeks until Rashida Tlaib was sworn in January 2019, and that is how Rashida Tlaib has been in Congress ever since.